Hello students, I am Professor Isha Mediratha from LG Institute of Engineering and Technology. We have started with the fourth chapter of our syllabus, that is measurements. Until now, we have covered 4-probe method, Van der Pol method, hot probe method and capacitance voltage measurements. In today's video, we are going to discuss another subtopic of the chapter, that is parameter extraction from diode IV. Diode IV means the characteristics of a PN junction diode. We know what PN junction diode characteristics are. Generally what we do is, we vary voltage across the PN junction diode and then we measure current. But this is a reverse process. In this, we are going to vary the current, and accordingly how voltage changes, that study will give us certain parameters, and this is certain parameters like series resistance, saturation current, recombination current and so on. So now let's start with parameter extraction. What exactly you mean by parameter extraction? The goal of this method is to determine such values of a device that minimize the differences between a set of measured characteristics and the result obtained by evaluation of the device model. So it actually determines such values which are close to the ideal parameters. Let's give you an example. We all know that threshold voltage of a silicon diode is 0.7 volt. It should actually be 0.7. But practically a PN junction diode can never have the exact value. But while designing a PN junction diode, how close we are to 0.7 for silicon, that is actually the purpose of parameter extraction. First, let us discuss some applications of this method. Why is this method useful? So starting with the first one, it is used to determine barrier height in Schottky diodes. Schottky diode is an example of a metal semiconductor junction which uses metals and semiconductors both. In this, barrier height is an important parameter because if the barrier height is more, the Schottky diode performance will get reduced. So while designing a Schottky diode, this is an important parameter. Next, we have saturation currents and series resistance in photovoltaic cells. The saturation current and series resistance, because photovoltaic cells actually work like a battery. They do not require any external supply. They only absorb sunlight and give us output. So the resistance should be minimum. So studying this can minimize the losses of photovoltaic cells. Next, we have recombination currents in LEDs. Recombination currents in LEDs are important because higher is the recombination current, higher will be the light. So these are some of the applications of parameter extraction method. Now, let's start with exactly the method. Before I start, let us just consider a simple forward bias of a PN junction, which has a PN junction connected to a series resistance and a supply. V is the supply voltage, I is the current through the circuit, Rs is the resistance we have connected, and say for example we measure the diode voltage as Vd. So in this equation I can apply KVL and I can say V, that is the applied voltage, minus Vd, the drop across the diode, minus IRs should be equal to 0. All the voltages should equate to 0, and from this equation I have Vd is equals to V minus IRs, that is diode voltage. The voltage across the diode is equals to the supply voltage, and subtract minus how much voltage has dropped across the resistance. Now we have IV characteristics of a semiconductor device. It can be determined by the following equation as I is equals to I naught e raised to V minus IRs upon eta Vt minus 1. This is the standard equation which is used to study the IV characteristics of semiconductor devices, and this is the equation which we are going to use in today's method. In this equation we have I naught as the saturation current, we have eta as the ideality factor. I just gave you an example of threshold voltage of a silicon diode. Ideally it should be 0.7, but practically exact 0.7 is not possible. So how close the value is with the ideal value, that denotes the ideality factor. If I say practical value is exactly equal to ideal value, eta will be 1. Next we have V minus IRs, that is equals to Vd, and that denotes the diode voltage, and Vt here denotes thermal voltage. Thermal voltage is defined as kBT by Q. Kb is Boltzmann constant, T is the absolute temperature and Q is the charge of electron. Substituting the value of Kb, Q, and if we take T as room temperature, means 300 Kelvin, we get the value of thermal voltage approximately as 26 millivolt. So now what we do is, we use this equation number 1, but in this equation number 1, there is a factor e raised to V minus IRS upon eta Vt. I have just explained that Vt is the thermal voltage. Even at room temperature, it has a very, very low value of millivolts. So I have a very low value in the denominator of this exponential term. That means the factor e raised to V minus IRS upon eta Vt in the above equation will be very large. And so the factor 1 in the denominator can be ignored and our equation will be reduced to I is equals to I naught e raised to V minus IRS upon eta Vt. Plus 1 term is ignored because e raised to V minus IRS upon eta Vt itself is very large. And we can write I by I naught is equals to e raised to V minus IRS upon eta Vt. I have just taken saturation current on the other side. Now what do we do? Because we have an exponential term, we take logarithm on both sides. Because of exponential term, we will be using ln and not log. So ln of I by I naught will be equal to V minus IRS upon eta Vt. Because ln of e raised to x is x. This, simplifying it, we get V is equals to IRS plus eta Vt ln of I by I naught. What I have done is I have just simplified the above equation and taken voltage term on one side and rest all other terms on the other side. So this is the equation which we got, in which we have a term called series resistance and saturation current. Now what we do is, we write a similar equation as this equation 2 by assuming some arbitrary values. We want to determine what is series resistance, saturation current, what is the ideality factor. So what do we do is assume some arbitrary values and we rewrite the equation as V dash, because we are assuming it, is equals to IRS dash plus eta dash Vt ln of I by I naught dash. To determine some parameters, we are already assuming those parameters and thus we get the third equation as mentioned. Now what do we do is, by equations 2 and 3, we determine delta V is equals to V dash minus V, which means delta V as entire V dash minus entire V. So delta V is equals to IRS dash plus eta dash plus Vt ln of I by I naught dash minus IRS plus eta Vt ln of I by I0. In this equation, what do? We take the term which has I as common. So taking I common, I can write Rs dash minus Rs plus I have eta dash Vt ln of I minus ln of I naught dash minus eta Vt ln of I minus ln I naught. What have I done is, we know that ln of A by B can be written as ln of A minus ln of B. So I have just taken the common, whatever are the common terms outside, and thus we get this equation. Simplifying this equation further, I can say delta V is equals to I Rs dash minus Rs plus Vt ln I. Now just see the second term in the yellow colored box. It is Vt into ln of I. Now if I expand the yellow colored box, I will be having eta dash Vt ln I minus eta dash Vt ln I naught dash minus eta Vt ln I plus eta Vt ln I naught. So I take Vt ln I on common from the two terms and Vt common from the two terms. So I am left with the equation delta V is equals to I Rs dash minus Rs plus Vt ln of I, that is common, eta dash minus Et plus Vt only common, eta ln I naught minus eta dash ln I naught. So this is just simplification of the above equation. Now let's see what comes next. Suppose we say that we have assumed we have assumed I naught dash and Rs dash. So suppose we consider that eta is equals to eta dash. We take eta dash is equals to the ideality factor. Then what happens in the previous equation, the term which has eta minus eta dash will get cancelled out and we will be having delta V as a function of I, and this becomes a straight line, and we have the equation delta V is equals to I Rs dash minus Rs plus, now we have taken eta is equals to eta dash, so eta minus eta dash term gets cancelled out. Whenever we have the term eta dash, we can write eta, so eta Vt is common, ln of I naught by I naught dash. So our actual equation reduces to this equation, which resembles the equation of a straight line. From this above equation, we can elaborate a numerical process for extracting some parameters. What are the parameters we need to extract? Series resistance, ideality factor, saturation current. So we will study delta V, that is voltage, as a function of I. So now let us move on to the graph wherein we are plotting delta V as a linear function of current. Why do we get a linear relationship? Because we have the equation which resembles y is equals to mx plus c. And y is equals to mx plus c denotes a straight line, and hence we write linear function of current. So now just have a look at the graph of delta V as a function of I. Because we are plotting delta V as a function of I, we have delta V on the y-axis and we have current in milliamperes on the x-axis. Now we have just seen that the graph will be a straight line, so we have plotted a straight line. From this straight line, we can extract the slope of the straight line. There is one more term in the graph, you can see zero ordinate. What do you mean by the word zero ordinate? Zero ordinate means a value for which x coordinate is 0. So zero ordinate will be a point which will be present on the y-axis, which has x coordinate equal to 0. So I have labeled slope as A and zero ordinate as B. These two can be calculated from the graph we have plotted. Let's see what happens if we determine slope and zero ordinate. So from the graph we determine the slope as dy by dx, that is equals to A, and this slope A is equals to Rs dash minus Rs. This gives us Rs is equals to Rs dash minus A. So Rs is the series resistance which we want to determine, and that can be determined by the arbitrary value we assumed, Rs dash minus A, that is the slope we have got from the graph. Let's see what do we obtain from the zero ordinate. So from the zero ordinate, now zero ordinate resembles the term, constant term C. So that is B is equals to eta Vt ln of I naught by I naught dash. So I can write B upon eta Vt is equals to ln I naught by I naught dash, and then I can take log to find out the value of I naught as I naught is equals to I naught dash e raised to B upon eta Vt. We have taken an anti-log. B is the value which we obtained from the graph. Eta Vt is known, and I naught dash we have already assumed as an arbitrary value. So this is how the saturation current can be determined as a function of I naught dash. This is how parameters are extracted from the diode IV characteristics. So from the graph we can study and determine the values like series resistance, saturation current and ideality factor. So this is how the method is useful. So today we have discussed what is the relation between voltage as a function of current. So actually we have studied the IV characteristics of a diode in some other way. We have derived some parameters like series resistance, saturation current. We can come to know the values of recombination current and ideality factor. These all parameters are important in designing devices like light emitting diodes, photovoltaic cells, metal semiconductor diodes, etc. Hope you have understood all the topics I discussed today very well. I will be starting with the next topic of the chapter in my coming video. Till then, take care. Thank you.